Good afternoon, Quasar Markets Live. I have a good one. You've all been asking about gold and how do I buy gold, accumulate gold? How do I put it in my pocket? And I got my friend Aaron Holley here today. How are you, Aaron?
Stephen, I'm doing so well. I appreciate you having me join you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Look, you and I have talked about this for a while to get this thing going. So we're going to talk about it from the perspective. Everybody's been asking about gold. It seems like central banks are buying gold. It seems like Indians are buying gold. It seems like the whole world's buying gold. But sometimes a lot of people don't really understand how to buy gold. So you have a very specific way that you buy gold, and I'm looking forward to that too. But before we get into that, tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, how you got into all of this, and where we're going with all this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm honestly just a pretty simple average guy. I ended up getting my degree from the University of Georgia in finance. Never actually worked in finance, however, although I worked in several financial industries. I was usually just kind of working with the people. Client service manager relationships was kind of what I was good at. And ended up working with a financial planner for almost 10 years. That was a really good experience for me. I was not a financial planner. I'm not a financial planner. I don't give financial advice. But then I found myself in Houston with my wife, and we went back there for a little while and had a baby. And oddly enough for me, that changed my whole world. I couldn't imagine anybody raising my daughter but myself. So I became a stay-at-home dad. And that completely changed my perspective on everything after having a job that was so important. And really, that kind of framed up after she went to school full time, and I could start looking for a career again. I was pretty frustrated after having the job that mattered so much, and so I'd been investing in properties before and did some different things, and then COVID happened, and I saw them printing money, right? Just handing out checks. And I said, wait a minute, this is going to, I had enough knowledge to know this is going to equal a lot of inflation. So kind of started looking into gold and silver a little bit. And the truth is, like most people, I spent 10 minutes on Google, didn't find the answers I thought I needed. I wasn't even familiar with gold and silver that much, found out what spot price was, tried to buy it on a couple of different sites, felt kind of a personal confusion. Ended up going to one site and they told me, hey, that was the price if you wanted $100,000 worth. That's not what I wanted. So a little bit of bait and switch there. Another site that seemed like I had a good price said I would receive my shipment in 4 to 6 months. I saw alarm bells going off for that. And then eventually came across, kind of what I'm doing now is another platform, a way to buy it. It's just so much more simple. And now that's what I do is I just go out and share a great message with folks that, something that's usually very complex can be made very simple and work for anyone.
Yeah, I like that. And one of the things that I think people are always wanting to know is, I don't want to buy lots and lots and lots of gold. I'm not Warren Buffett, and but I don't want to also store it at my house. I don't want the carry charges. What do I do with what do I do? And you've got a very unique company and a very unique way of doing it. So let's talk about it. How do you buy gold?
Okay. So really what I'll say is what's different about us, or let me ask you a question real quick. Why do you think most people don't have gold?
Well, I'll tell you, I can't eat it and I can't stick it in my pocket. I think a lot of people say that, right? And I think a lot of people, they don't really understand the value of it, right? In a lot of ways. I mean, I obviously have gold and silver myself. I believe in additional adding and accumulating, and I don't like selling. So that's always my hardest thing to do, and I think that's one of the cool things that you've got going on. So tell us a little about how you do this thing.
So I think number one, I think most people really, the average person doesn't have gold and silver because they don't even think they should. They don't know why they should, right? And I'll say systematically, they've been almost convinced to trust, the almighty dollar, and gold and silver really seems like something of old, right? And so then if people do decide it's interest to them, I think they get really confused as to how to purchase it. And so who do you trust, right? Where do you buy it? How much do you buy? What do you buy? Do you store it at home? Do you store it somewhere else, right? Can you buy it any way other than lump sum, meaning a big purchase at one time? And so really what we've done is created a platform that gets rid of all the riddles and the mysteries. You don't have to have a fortune to get started. You don't have to be rich to get started. You can actually get started on any budget. And so what we've really done isn't it's not that we've made one thing available. It's we've made it like custom to you. So what do you want your experience to be? Buying, holding, or selling? And so we've really created just a lot of options. And so, yes, do you have $10,000 and want to buy it today? We can do that. Do you have $1 million and want to buy it today? We can do that, right? You can have it shipped to your house, or you can do it systematically, like a 401k. So maybe your budget only allows you to do $10 a month, right? Most people, if they would just take $80 a month and put that in gold and silver, that would only be one meal out. And so it allows you to systematically invest a little over time, just like you would a 401k. And like what you were just talking about too, I mean, there's so much noise around gold and silver right now, but they're really talking about market price and watching charts and what about this candle and all this kind of stuff that really has nothing to do with that, with what I do, right? For me, I'm buying it not for days, but for decades, hopefully even generations. So what I'm buying today, I'm hoping I'm not passing off to somebody else in a few months and make a profit. I'm hoping to pass to my daughter or to her grandkids at some point.
Yeah, and I just added one of your websites up there as well. As that's Golden Freedom, is that correct? And
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so click on that button, everybody out there. I'll put that in the comments section here so that everybody can see that as well. And make sure that everybody clicks on this button. I'll give everybody a few minutes here as they're hitting that button now. goldenfreedom.org. I also have a list of your personal sites, your LinkedIn as well. And I'll put that up there too. But, one of the questions that I think a lot of people have asked lately is, hey, look, Aaron, gold's at an all-time high. Why should I start buying now, right? Like why now?
Yeah. So let me ask you one question on that, because you are in the financial world, right? You know a lot more than I do about a lot of things going on. So let me ask you, why in the world is the central banks buying in tons when other people are considering buying in ounces?
Right. And I think you're absolutely right. I think that there's no stopping buying precious metals because there's only a finite amount of it, right? And it's only hard to get. And if you own a little bit of that too, you're buying exactly the same thing that the governments are buying, right?
Yeah. So for me, I really am kind of, like I said, I'm a simple guy. I really look back. I look at nature a lot. I also look at humanity a lot. And really what I mean by humanity is, as a species, what have we been doing for thousands of years? And almost everything we're doing right now as a species is absolutely brand new. Within 100 or 200 years, which, I mean, a lot of people say that's a long time, but is it really? As a species, it isn't. And so what I see really happening right now, when I look at the big picture, is in my lifetime, and really even the lifetime of my grandmother, the U.S. dollar has become money. But if you look at money and one of the qualities of money being a store of value, I would argue that the dollar isn't money because it doesn't store value well. And I don't have to look at some charts or some news reports to figure this out. I can just look at my own life experience. And I'm a pretty young guy, considering, once again, a species. So I see what's happening with inflation. I see what's happening with the dollar. I see what's happening with central banks buying up tons. I think I saw a headline yesterday that the numbers are out, and China bought 15 tons of gold in September, once again at its high. So what that just tells me is the people that have a lot more resources than I do to go out and figure out what should they do to be protecting their country and the assets of their country and the interest in their country and the financial structure of their country. It probably makes sense not to have to figure all this out and just kind of do what the people that are wanting big success do with big money. And so for me, I would rather do a little bit of what the big folks are doing, the big dogs are doing, and achieve a little bit of that success for my family.
Yeah, we just had a question come in for you, Aaron. There are a lot of options out there, but what makes your company any different?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest differences is the customization, right? So let's just look at a few of those variables. So number one, you can buy a lump sum, but you can also buy fractional, and that's a big deal for us. So once again, in most places, if you had wanted to buy some gold, you need to go down to your pawn shop, or you go to one of the sites, one of the websites that sells gold and silver. And if you wanted to buy an ounce of gold, then you need roughly $4,000 to do that. One of the big differences for us is because we can, and everything we do is tangible. Just, I don't think I've mentioned that, but so we're not talking about ETFs. We're not talking about digitized or tokens. It's actually coins in a vault. But there's a coin in a vault. So when you buy $10 worth of gold, there's a coin in a vault in Idaho that's there. And obviously, they're not going to ship you $10 worth of gold. But once you have invested enough to have a whole coin, you can have that shipped to yourself, or you can just leave it in the vault in Idaho. And so once again, just a lot of different options. So lump sum is one. You can do it systematically, a little bit each month. And some people, a little bit each month is $10,000. We have people that get involved and they move, lump sum 1 million in a day. But we also have people that just get started with $10 a month, maybe $80 a month, $40 to gold, $40 to silver. You can have it stored in your house. You can have it stored in Idaho. And I think one of the very biggest things that's different about us is, in any investment, I don't care if it's real estate or stocks or Bitcoin or gold, the two prices that matter is when you buy it and when you sell it. And although we do have great prices when you buy it, very competitive, often the best price you would find online, the big difference really is our sellback price. And so there's no haggling. You don't have to lug your gold down to a pawn shop or a gold broker in town. And so if you have it in your digital wallet, if you have it stored in Idaho, it's basically a precious metal savings account. So it's tied to tangible metals, but you can liquidate in a couple of clicks of a button and see the cash back in your account. You know what the price is before you sell it. And I was just looking this morning. Let me get these numbers right. So this morning, the spot price I was seeing was $4,065, and our sellback price was $4,075. So compared to a lot of places where, I literally talked to a guy about 3 weeks ago, and he went to a pawn broker or a gold broker in his town, and he knew I was in the gold business, wanted to know if I wanted to buy his gold. And he said that, he just came back from a gold broker and they were offering him 50% of spot price. So, just having a lot of options. And
wow. Yeah, so I gotta go.
I've never actually done it, so I can't say I'm not saying that's normal. What I am saying is I've heard normal is about 80%, right? And so just being able to sell back and be part of a place where you know exactly what it is, full transparency. You don't have to guess. There's no haggling, no guessing. We just make the experience whatever you want it to be, right? Buy it, hold it, sell it. You can make it a lot of different options customized to your preferences.
Yeah, and I was just asked a few minutes ago, what's the best way to contact you if people want to know more? And I got the website up here, right? goldenfreedom.org.
Yeah, absolutely. My phone number is on there as well. And then basically, my phone number, my email, that website, all of that's perfect. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I think you'll have that information at some point. And really, I'm just here to educate people, right? So where a lot of people are, maybe trying to sell gold and silver, that's not really what I want to do. I want to educate people. I want people to get their questions answered. And then if they ever get to the point of maybe they're frustrated with fiat currency, maybe they're frustrated with inflation, maybe they have come to the point where they think that gold and silver is important for them and their family, I just want them to know that I'm a resource, right? And I think what we're doing is the best way to own it and the best way to buy it and the best way to sell it. But if that's not what they think, then there's a lot of options out there. And so I just really want to make my mission is to get gold and silver in the hands of as many people as possible, because I think it's going to matter. I think something that used to be money is starting to be money again. It's always been there. It's always had value. It's always been important. But I think most people lost sight of that. But I think there's an awakening where people are recognizing it again. And so I just want to make it simple and get rid of all the noise and confusion. So the average person, whether they've been doing it for decades and have millions or it's their very first time, right, just to be a resource.
Yeah, and I like that because and there's your LinkedIn right there too as well. But I think that a lot of times people just want to buy bits and pieces. We saw that at Costco, and people go into Costco to buy gold. That doesn't seem like the smartest thing to do, but it seems that people just want gold so badly. Yeah. But they need a place that they feel comfortable in doing that. And we've got a few places here to raise their markets. Yeah. Well, Aaron, I appreciate you coming. Look, if anybody has any questions, I'll let you go. But Aaron Holley, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time, my man.
Steven, you're amazing. You're a lot of fun. I appreciate everything you do out there and all the education that you're doing for everyone. So, hey, appreciate you having me.
Thanks, Aaron. We'll see you next time.
God bless.